Good morning, students. Today we shall discuss in detail about thyroid gland. What is a thyroid gland? Thyroid gland is an endocrine gland. When I say endocrine gland, what comes to your mind? Yes, these are ductless glands and they produce hormones. Very good. Now, where do you find this thyroid gland? Yes, they are found on the neck region. And if you want to discuss, to be very more specific about the location, we can say that thyroid gland is present below the larynx, and it is found around the trachea. So from the ventral side, you can see it is bilobed and connected by a small isthmus. Okay, so this is the structure. Thyroid is a bilobed endocrine gland present below the larynx around the trachea. But from the dorsal side, you cannot find any isthmus. Okay, you can see the bilobed structure behind, but you cannot see the isthmus. Only from this side. Okay, ventral side, it is connected. Both the lobes are connected together by a small isthmus. Okay, children, fine. So what are these, thyroid hormones? What are these thyroid hormones? Very good. The secretions of thyroid gland are collectively called thyroid hormones. What do you call them? Thyroid hormones. Okay. Now, let us look into the internal structure of this thyroid gland. Okay. So, if you see the structure of thyroid gland, you can find so many small packages. Okay, packages of cells, glandular cells found everywhere in the thyroid gland, and these are called follicular cells. What are they called? Follicular cells. Okay, so each follicle has a group of cuboidal epithelial cells. These cells are glandular in nature and therefore they are secretory in nature. Very good. Now, if you see the adjacent side of this follicle, you can find this stromal layer and it is supplied with thin fine blood capillaries. And around the follicular region, you can also find some patches of cells, small cells. These cells are called parafollicular cells. What are they called? Parafollicular cells. Okay. So now this is the basic structure of the thyroid gland. Now let us go into the next, that is thyroid hormones. So we have basically, you would have heard about thyroxine, isn't it? Thyroid gland produces thyroxine. Very good. Other than thyroxine, they also produce some more hormones. Okay. So we shall discuss what they are. So we have T3 hormone, T4 hormone. T4 is thyroxine. T4 is thyroxine and calcitonin. Okay. The T3 and T4 hormones are secreted from the follicle. Okay. And the calcitonin is produced by the parafollicular cells. So, follicle will secrete the T3 and T4 hormones and the parafollicular cells will produce calcitonin. Okay, children? So, why do I say T3, T4? Let us go to this diagram. See, and if you see this picture, you can find 1, 2, 3 iodine. Therefore, I call this T3. That is triiodothyronin. What do you call it? Triiodothyronin. T3. Here if you see the structure, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. How many iodine are present? 4. Okay, this is your thyroxine. What is this? Thyroxine. Thyroxine hormone. Thyroxine is otherwise called personality hormone. Okay, thyroxine otherwise called personality hormone. Okay, we will discuss the physiological effect of thyroid hormones. Okay, so first we will take up thyroxine. So thyroxine, I already informed you that it is called personality hormone. That means it is influencing our personality. So the thyroxine has three major functions. Okay, number one, it is involved in mental development. Number two, it is involved in physical development. Number three, it is involved in maintaining basal metabolic rate. What is basal metabolic rate? Yes, every cell is doing some activity. Okay, yes, there is some kind of anabolic activity, some kind of catabolic activity, some building process, some breaking process. Yes, so all this collectively together we call metabolism. So every cell is doing some work. Yes or no? And this, this is monitored, controlled by the influence of thyroxine. Okay, therefore we say it maintains BMR. Thyroxine maintains BMR, that is basic metabolic, not basic, basal metabolic rate. Okay. Now coming to the calcitonin. What is the function of calcitonin? See, it is not alone. Okay, it has a company, but they act antagonistic to each other. Who is calcitonin's company? Yes, parathormone. So parathormone is another hormone produced from the parathyroid glands. Yeah, these parathyroid glands are also embedded here, other side of your thyroid gland. We will discuss about thyroid in the next class. Okay. So they produce parathormone, calcitonin and parathormone together. They are maintaining the homeostasis. Okay, they are maintaining the homeostasis of calcium. Very good. Okay, so calcitonin, it's said to have calcium lowering activity. Okay, so whenever there is more calcium in your bloodstream, this calcitonin will see that the calcium is removed from the bloodstream and deposited wherever it is possible, whether in the muscle or the bone or elsewhere. Okay, children. So calcitonin is involved in calcium homeostasis. So homeostasis of calcium is maintained by calcitonin as well as parathormone. Who is producing calcitonin? Thyroid gland. Who is producing parathormone? Parathyroid gland. Clear, children? Yes? So I will once again recap only the thyroid hormones. Thyroid gland produces three major hormones: T3, T4 and calcitonin. Okay. So T3 is triiodothyronine. T4 is thyroxine. These two are produced from the follicle. Calcitonin is produced from the perifollicular cells. Okay. Thyroxine is personality hormone. It is involved in the mental development, physical development and maintains basal metabolic rate. Calcitonin maintains, or I should say along with the parathyroid hormone, maintains the homeostasis of calcium. Calcitonin, okay, has calcium lowering abilities. Okay, it lowers the calcium level in the blood. So it can deposit the calcium in the bones or in the muscles or elsewhere. Okay, children, are you all clear up to this? Any doubts? Okay, so today we have discussed about thyroid gland in detail.